Well, let's talk about some of the benefits of modding your guitars, because this isn't just romantic. As romantic as it is, it's not only romantic, it is also very practical, because when you mod a guitar, you develop a deeper understanding for how your guitar works. You learn how a capacitor shapes your tone, and suddenly you have a new knowledge that you didn't previously experience, and your ears and eyes are open to new guitars and new approaches. That you find a capacitor that has a better roll-off than the last, you're playing better now. You're expressing yourself more eloquently, more articulately, because you now understand what roll-off and capacitors are. That's the technicality of modding a guitar. You begin to understand how pickup height affects your playing and your output. If you've never adjusted your pickups, then you may not know that as your pickups are lower, the magnet doesn't have the same strength against the string, and so the output's a little bit lower. And maybe you haven't put together that as my lights are turning off because it's late and I'm excited, so I gotta turn this back on. Hang tight. Maybe you haven't put it together yet that the height of your bridge pickup is higher because you want more bite from it, and it's not just more volume, but it's more bite, because that magnet has a stronger intensity, because the relationship of the magnet to the string has changed, and that comes from modding your guitar. You getting in there and finding out the different bridge types, between the saddle material and composition to the style itself, will affect how the strings resonate and sustain. And if you didn't have that, again, take these three things we've talked about already: capacitors and pickup height and bridge composition. Like, as these three things changes, if you now know how roll-off works better and the bite of your pickups because of the height and the material of the saddles that are on your bridge, if you've taken those three things and you changed those three nuances, you're now on the other side of having learned what those things do. You now live in a world where you're playing better and you're listening more intently, and you start to understand the weird things that Joe Bonamassa says and the things that he sees and the way that it all kind of crystallizes in front of him, and suddenly you get it. And you start to speak the language of the God. You start to understand this is the stuff that they're talking about.